Hey guys, welcome to another episode on the same day. Here we are, November 28th. It's about 6:50 p.m. right down here in Hoodoo Central. And I decided I want to do another video for you guys today. I know I did the very philosophical, life lesson video for you guys earlier on the sparrows. And I said, you know what? I want to alternate videos. One philosophical video, one hands-on hoodoo tutorial video. So that's what this is going to be. This is going to be the hands-on hoodoo tutorial video. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that word. All right. So with that being said, we are going to talk about spiritual oils, specifically hoodoo oils, for this video. I know that's a thing that's been hanging you guys up here because I know, if you go over all the marketeers and the marketeering websites, right? Oils seem to be the one thing they have in common. Some will do incense, some won't. Some will do powder, some won't. Some will do roots and herbs, some won't. But they all seem to do oils. And a lot of you ask me, how can I tell between authentic hoodoo products and those produced by the marketeers? So that's what this video will help to clear up for you. And, we will go into, and I love, telling the marketeers to kiss my ass. So I'm going to show you this video hands-on how to make your own hoodoo oils. All right, we'll do step by step with a I guess we'll do a blessing oil. All right, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and since we've already gone very deep and philosophical, I'm not going to wear this hat. I thought about wearing this one right here. Then I'm like, no, I'm not really that guy. I've had way too many of these to wear the white hat. So we're going to wear this one. Turn around like this. Because we're about to go to work, all right? Now, I know a lot of you, in that question, how can I tell an authentic hoodoo product from, one from the marketeers, specifically an oil? I want to, bring out my handy dandy visual demonstration here. I'm going to cover it up so y'all can see the mark, the little label and shit. Anyway, this is salad dressing. Specifically, it's Italian salad dressing, all right? And you see, all that shit floating around in there. And it bears a sparkling similarity to some of the oils y'all are buying. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. And the little square bottles with all this shit floating around in there. Much like this salad dressing. All right. Now, when I was a little kid, all right, growing up, and this is Italian. You can see right there. This is Italian. All this shit wasn't floating around in there. It was just salad dressing. It was just this shit to make the salad taste a lot better. Right? Same thing with oils. It was just oil. But nowadays, you guys are buying all these hoodoo oils that has all this shit floating around in it. And the marketeers, they're telling you, well, the reason we put that in there is so that people know that what's in there is authentic. Let me tell y'all something. The average person doesn't know what's growing in their own backyard, let alone what's supposed to go into salad dressing. Case in point, what's that little white motherfucker right there? Who knows? What's that little gray sumbitch right there? Who knows? What's that little red motherfucker right there? Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that when you put it in there, it makes this shit taste great, and I can choke down this salad a lot better than I could before. Okay? The same thing with Hoodoo Spiritual oils. The average person doesn't know, what's supposed to go in there. They don't know when you buy that bottle what that is and that is and that is. All they know, and all they hope to know is when I use this oil, does it do what it's supposed to do? All right? That's marketing hype, guys. Do not believe that. That's a fairly new invention, much like honey in the honey jar. So if you are buying from a person, a site, a blog, and they've got all that shit floating around in their hoodoo oils, then chances are that that person is either new age or they've learned from someone who is new age, and it may not actually be authentic. All right. So we're going to talk about the difference between, or the similarities between this and new hoodoo oils, and how to make some authentic hoodoo spiritual oils that will do exactly what it's supposed to do. Much like, hopefully, this salad dressing will taste like I hope it tastes. All right. So we're going to move into the kitchen, and we'll go from there. And as y'all can probably tell, I've had quite a few of these. Quite a few of these. And, I actually want to say something. I've got a little bone to pick with Planet Fitness. Y'all know my fitness journey, my weight loss journey, right? And so, I want to wage a complaint against Planet Fitness because, I went in there today to work out, and they've got all these signs: hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And I'm like, great, that makes sense. But you crack one little motherfucking beer, and inside the Planet Fitness, and everybody has a conniption. I'm just kidding, y'all. All right, let's move into the kitchen. All right, guys, we are back in the Hoodoo Kitchen. A lot of you remember this place from when I made the spiritual bath video. And I've assembled a few things for this blessing oil. All right? And a few things I've assembled are, like before, the cinnamon sticks. I've got basil, bay leaves, and a couple of bottles of essential oil. I've got myrrh here and frankincense. Okay, now just like the cooking shows, counter's kind of dirty there. Anyway, just like the cooking shows, I've got an oil already started, which kind of gave me the idea to this video. So I'm gonna go there and grab it. Where am I grabbing it from? Yeah, that's the Hoodoo mat there. A lot of you remember. Yeah, don't laugh. I made the powder before from what was left of the spiritual bath I did, and that's still simmering. That right there is the oil that I made earlier. I'll go ahead and grab it. All right, so I'll take and what was left in this oil is pretty much the ingredients that I've got laid out ahead of you. I've got the basil, the bay leaves, I've got the cinnamon sticks and the damiana. Okay, now this is a blessing oil. So of course, we know from the Old Testament that the three wise men took to Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Well, I don't have no gold to put in here, but I've got the essential oil of frankincense and myrrh, which is in here. I've got bay leaves, because bay leaves have the property of granting wishes, which when we're talking about a blessing, the granting of wishes plays heavily into that. All right. And basil, we know that basil is good for drawing money. Cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon is good for heating things up, especially with spiritual work. Cinnamon sticks will speed things up. And so when we're talking about a blessing oil, blessing powder, blessing incense, there's no better blessing than a fast one. And a lot of times when we use these spiritual products, we need things to happen fairly quickly. So we'll use cinnamon sticks for that. And damiana, well, y'all know how I feel about damiana. Damiana is the sexual leaf. And, there's no better blessing than, a sexual one. I like to fuck a little bit. I like to fuck a little bit. So I put that in my blessing oil. All right. And we see that, we've got that in there, and you swirl it around. You see all the ingredients are in there. Now, a lot of you guys are like, wait a minute. You were just talking about the shit floating around in the salad dressing, and you got shit floating around in your oil. Au contraire. All right. And here comes the traditional hoodoo part, and as y'all can tell, my refrigerator just kicked off. It was running kind of loud just then. Okay. In traditional hoodoo, when you receive your oil from an old school worker, there's nothing floating around in it. If so, it's very little floating around in it. Why is that? Well, the key to that is from what I told you from the other video. You see that powder there that we made from before? From the spiritual oil? Okay. Old school hoodoo workers did not have access to eBay and Amazon. So when they went out and they put shit in their oils or in their baths or in their powders or whatever, That's something that they had to gather by hand. Okay? So most likely, and I know this from my grandmother, once something was used, you try to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 uses out of it if possible. So if something made an oil, you would try to save those ingredients and make it into a powder, much like we did from the spiritual bath into the powder that's sitting over there on the windowsill. Okay? Now, I set the oil once I combined the ingredients and prayed over it using the Lord's Prayer. I set it over there, so that the sunlight could hit it and infuse it with the sun's energy. Now, what I'll do from there is take a handy dandy strainer. Now, I'm going to try to do this as neatly as possible because I don't have anyone to hold this for me. It's going to be a little bit tricky. Y'all get it up close and personal. And I'm straining the plant matter through the strainer here. There we go. I did that with one hand, y'all. And what you have left from all those ingredients, you've got the plant matter in the strainer, and you've got the oil down in there. And of course, some is going to fall through. And I jokingly tell a lot of you guys who buy my spiritual oils that if you get some of my plant matter down in there, then, god damn it, it was an accident. Because I really don't try to give you all this shit. I use it the old school way. And what I'll do is I'll take that plant matter and I will add it much like I did over here. Right? I'll add it to like a salt base or a flour base. I'll set it in the windowsill and I'll let it dry out. And then that blessing oil will also make a blessing powder. And what you've got left is something that's pretty clear. Maybe a few specks in there, but it's pretty much clear. And what was left, like I said, we'll make a blessing powder or we'll make a blessing floor scrub or something like that. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys get so hung up on the whole recipe thing. And you want to learn a recipe for oil, then another recipe for powder, then another recipe for incense. All right, guys, that's not the case. If you've got a headache, you take Tylenol. All right. If you've got a muscle ache, you can take Tylenol. If you've got a tummy, you can take Tylenol. Okay? One thing can last for many different uses, guys. So you don't have to learn all these wonderful but overdrawn and over marketed recipes for one specific condition. Okay, if you learn one recipe and it works for you, then that can also make a powder, also make an incense, doing kind of what I did here. You take them, you strain it, you dry it out, and then you keep it moving. All right, let's move back to the the main room of Hoodoo Central, and then we'll finish this video up. Okay, guys, we are back, seated right back down here in the main room of Hoodoo Central, where you're accustomed to seeing me. And we've got the oil that I just showed you that was made there, and it smells great because it has the frankincense and myrrh essential oil in there. Okay, and the only thing left to do would be to pray over it. And since this is a blessing oil, I'll use the Lord's Prayer. You don't have to get too complicated with it. I will light a candle on top of it, which I am going to do. Y'all hold on a second, because this is a hands-on tutorial here. Don't look at my print when I get up. So I know some of y'all kind of nasty down in here. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and light this, because in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." He will light it. And there was light, and the Lord saw that there was light, and light was good. And you swirl that around a little bit. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay. It's my little Catholic roots there, And I will sit this on my working altar, which is also my ancestor altar. And that oil, which is a blessing oil, will charge up. Okay? Now, don't get hung up too much on the ingredients. Use what you have. Don't get hung up on the base oil, because I know a lot of you are going to send me that message. Once I get done with this video, you're going to ask me, well, what base oil? Look, traditional oils, use whatever is available. If you have mineral oil, use that shit. If some of you are kind of ritzy and you have, what's that, sweet almond oil, use it. Damn, I don't care, sunflower oil, because it's very light and pretty. Use it. Brothers and sisters, if all you have is Wesson, use it, okay? The main thing is that you use the oil, that you make it, manufacture it, pray over it, and get it charged up, not what you build it in, okay? So understand, it's about your intention and the ingredients you have and your prayer, and you can make a very powerful oil. Now, what can you do with this oil? This is a blessing oil. It has elements in it for love, for sex, for finances, for the granting of wishes. If you're writing out a job application, because I know everything is online now, right? Everyone who's applying for a job, if you're making a blessing oil, what I would recommend that you do is that, even though I know you're filling out the application online, print out a hard copy and put some dots of your blessing oil onto it, and then set it up under a candle. Okay, if you're going to gamble, throw those dice. Rub some of your oil on your hands, because that's where you're going to be holding the dice, right? The same thing if you're touching cards at a casino, or pulling a lever, or scratching a scratch off. All right, rub it on your hands. If you're going on a date for the first time, you can put some over your heart, because he or she has potential. If they don't have potential, then you put a little bit down below, because they have another kind of potential, right? All right, because a lot of you guys, all you know is just sniffing some oil and see. You can dress your candles, which I have burning here. And one person asked me if I could explain what the pink candle is for. The pink candle is not for me. I burned that pink love candle back there because a lot of you will, ask me to burn candles for you for love matters, or money matters, or protection, things like that. So aside from myself, I have those things burning in the background for you guys who contact me. You can dress your candles with oil. You can feed your mojo bag with the oil that you make to empower it, to make it stronger. You can put some on the doormat in front of your house to make sure that anyone who enters there is a blessing to you and not a curse. All right? So there's a bunch of things you can do with your hoodoo oils. One thing I don't want you to do is overthink them, guys. Pray over them and use them. The proof is in the pudding. If that particular recipe does not work for you, then add or subtract some ingredients. See what does work for you. All right? Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm a little tipsy doing this video. Like I've told you guys before, never, ever, ever put me on a pedestal, because I will disappoint you every time. But hopefully you learned something from this video. And also, guys, let your faith be in the creator, not in the spiritual worker, not in the person on the YouTube video. All right, let your faith be in yourself and your creator, because we are all part of the broken army. We are all broken, and we all do worship the God in us. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and see y'all next video.